Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have another video here, this time on a 2004 Ford Lightning. This is a 5.4 liter. The customer concern is purge valve not working properly. They tried everything. I'm going to read the note pretty short, pretty shortly, so you can see what I'm doing. So right now, just to give you what I have connected, I have made for you have seen probably if you follow my channel that I made connectors so I can fully test these computers with the uh, instrument cluster and keys and everything, run injectors, coils, everything 100%. But so for this test, this computer is working 100% except for that. So I have just the scanner connected, tap done, finish max in using my bench supply. I have supplied also power from the same connector over to a test light. I have only one connected just to show you that with the computer off, I got no ignition or anything set up, that test light is on because with no keep alive power, the normal state of that driver is off, is connected. As soon as you put the keep alive power, and this will disappear. But so this just one test light will consume around 204 or so. Let me see if this will keep up with two of them connected. I think it's a little too much for keep it, but you can see they're a little dim, but they're there. Let me disconnect this one because for the test I need only one, at least for what the computer is doing. Because a normal stage of these drivers to control the purge valve is 300 to 500 milliamps. The purge valve is in pin 56, and that is I will show you in a second all the pinouts and everything. All right, so his name is Kenneth Socha. Again, a 2004 for Lightning. That's the bean, no tuning. Was updated from 4L to, okay, so updated to the latest software. The issue I'm having is a service engine light with a code P0443, which is again the purge valve circuit. I have done a full diagnostic wire test. I have good 12 volts to the canister valve, and I have a good circuit back to the PCM terminal 56. If I test the circuit with a regular test line, with the output test on, it shows the circuit working, but when you put the more load, which is the valve, right? And you can do the actuation, which is also what I'm going to show in here. The solenoid or a higher wattage bulb than the test light, than a test light, then let me just read again because I'm trying to keep the scanner on too. Or a higher voltage than a test light. That's when it will not show a ground on circuit 56 when output is commanded, but commanded does set in the code. There are no other drivability issues currently observed. I know this is an emission code, but we're road race this vehicle with an and with the service engine sunlight. We don't know if it's anything else happened during the run. So they want to make sure that if it's something coming on, it's not just taking, let go. And then the rest is just to put insurance on the shipping back. So I'm going to do an auto scan. Since I got the PCM connected, I can do that. Oh, I haven't even turned the computer on, so this is going to fail pretty much. But let me turn this on. You see, as soon as I turn this on, light goes off and no more consumption. Right now, the multimeter is here just as an amp clamp, let's say as an amp meter. All right, so that is indeed his bin. Last digit CA20556. CA20556. So I will go into just quick access. So what I'm showing you here, so first is reproduce a customer concern. This is just a normal scanner way to go and tap done. It's going to make a few questions if it's a supercharge, which it is. Unknown. That's just a fuel, if it's by fuel alternative or otherwise, it is a supercharge. And then here we can just go over to the PCM. As he said, with just a test light connected, I'm going to go over the codes, and we most likely not going to have a purge valve code because every time the computer is power, read the full codes, retrieve this I'm going to have because I don't have the fuel pump connected or nothing else. I might have a P1000 and some other fault. Yeah, usually this is what you get as a store because if I run a full test of like self-test, then we will get a whole list of codes. But yeah, it looks like somebody erased the codes, and these are the only ones that are here. Let's go over to actuation tests. And this will vary scanner to scanner, depends on, what I will show the scanner or the name. I wish they all share the same um, functions and everything so we don't have to learn each scanner, but I guess each manufacturer doesn't want to copy the other one's fails, right? So if I have vapor management valve, that's how it's called here. Okay, we're gonna put that in as in percentage. So all I'm going to do is increase in here, and we will see the light coming on, which it will be just that upper one in here, and then you will see the amperage. So I'm starting to go 10, 10%, 20%. You can see the increase on the amperage. The light is still too low to really see. 40%. We start to see some dim on the light, right? 50%, 60, and we can see, that it is working as he said normally. Again, like I said before, these should hold over zero point 0.3 to zero point 0.5. These two test lights are around that. So if I come off of that's what I did. I just went off of the test, and I'm going to connect the other test light. This is in parallel, so both will share the same power and ground, not in series. All right, so now both test lights should come on. It should be bright because this should be enough. These two test lights together are like around 450 the way they are connected here. All right, so I'm going to go over to the same test, and we're going to start the same. Again, now it's in zero, so 10%. We can see 20, 30, 40. This should increase because now we got two test lights. 50, 60%. And I can start to see some glowing on both test lights. So let's see if this can hold or not. I got 70%, 80%, 90%, and then 100%. Still drawing, just not enough. Just going to leave it in there. Actually, let me come out of the test again. Let's try this one more time. Now I'm going to have on and off in this case. So let's do on. Because there is another test that I can just go and start to percentage. I can go on and off. Just went over to let me just get out of here so because you can see we have percentage or on and off. The same thing for the purge canister bend valve. So to start to go percentage, I want to go on and off because right now it's like it's not grounding completely. So I'm just going on, and then you can see those lights are coming on, but it is drawn only 217. Let me just see what he says. If we test the circuit with a regular test light with the output test on, it shows the circuit working, but when you put a more load on like the purge solenoid or a higher wattage bulb and a test light, that's when it will not show a ground on circuit 56 when output is commanded, thus setting the code. So I'm trying to see if it needs to be heated up. And sometimes this is what you need to do. And things that I know immediately, even though this is on, is no good because this is what one of those slides draws. This should be drawing more because I can have, and I can show you this if I move it straight to my um, rig in there, where I can supply a good ground, that this is actually not working good because, okay, now let's turn this on and we are the same. It's like it's only one light, you know what I mean? Because it's not enough ground to to fully activate both lights. Let me just move this over so we can show it straight to that's what I got that alligator on the ground in there so we can go straight to that. So give me just 1 second. All right, guys, so I move everything in here. I got both again, both balls connected the same way, and now this is just the ground. So I'm going to connect this here. And as you can see, when you have a good ground, which you have 0.542, again, one of them by itself, it should draw 273. So that ground is not even enough to activate fully this slide, which should be 270, not 200 and something that we're seeing in there. Again, both of them 540, and now this is nice and bright. So definitely it is a concern with the driver. I can definitely see that this is not powerful enough. So now if we reproduce this, let me disconnect the ground from here. So I don't have the light in there. Let me take you over to the circuit and the file that I create always. Let's see what I got in here. All right, so I got the connectors first. Let me make this a little bigger. It looks like they changed some of the stuff in Adobe. I don't know why they keep changing and changing it. You start to at least get to know your systems and they change things, change the button positions, and not sure what they do that. I like it to have it on the top so they're not in my landscape. It looks like this cannot be moved. Customize toolbar. Cancel. Yeah, because it looks like this toolbar cannot be moved. All right, disregard that. So we have this computer is 104 pins. Again, pin 56. Still the same thing. I cannot have my mouse color it in here to show what they are. Only in connector, not connector on page 1. I have the actual connector showing. So if I go over to page 2, uh, or PDF too, sorry, because it's 3 PDFs. I just have it all for my information. We can see that yes, it is a evap canister purge valve control. And this is a ground side control circuit. I can show you also on the diagram, which I have. I have the complete colored and mark diagram. Too much. So this is just me putting, the data link connectors. As in pin 15 and 16, we have grounds in pin 3, case ground on pin 25, and another ground in pin 51. Keep going. Again, I'm just going to go a little fast so we can see that. That's just wire that goes through. This is the evap purge valve, and that's the ground side activation. How I know it's a ground side, if I go up and follow that line that is obviously not shown in here, this will go to a power. But believe me, I did that and I'm giving you the correct information. We have the keep alive battery on pin 55, very common on these computers. 56, again, the vapor valve. We got another power on pin 71, case ground, oh sorry, not case ground, ground on pin 77, another power on 97, and then another ground on pin 103. This is everything that I need for the test that I'm doing. So that's pretty much what we need to do on these ones for a test like this. So what I would recommend to do is with the computer disconnected, just turn the ignition on. you should have power on with the purge valve connected all the way through pin 55, sorry, pin 56. You can then connect a test light that you know is around half an amp and then connect it to ground. Or, since the purge valve is connected, that is a protected circuit because you already got a coil in there. So what you can do is use the same thing, the multimeter like we have here, connect one pin to one side to pin 56 to the on the computer, and then the other one to ground. You're protected because this goes through a fuse and everything. Let me take you over to the actual diagram and identifics. I think I save it. Bookmarks, color, and yes, they're all here. Give me just 1 second to select it all. Let this make it a little bigger. Close this from here. Now let me find that purge valve. I think it's in page 3. Yes, right here. So let's look for the power. So if we see the power, it's actually shared among other solenoids like the transmission solenoids. But if we follow this cable right here, the red, yellow, let me just see where that goes. Red, yellow. Okay, so we have this. So this red, yellow has already a fuse, 15 amp fuse right here, right? 15 amp fuse that comes over from the PCM relay, power relay. So it has a ground circuit, and what activates this relay is the PCM diode. And let me just see, make sure that I'm giving you the correct information, because what is in there? Hot and run and start. So yes, so this is perfect. So as you can see, this is the entire circuit that will power that solenoid or give power, steady power, even with the PCM disconnected. So we had a power in hot and run or start, so ignition or start. So only on ignition or starting, we should have power. Then the power will go through the diode over for this relay. So this is to protect the rest of the circuit from the kick of this relay when that coil collapses. Then this will close because again we can see here this per terminal 86 is power, terminal 85 is a constant ground, 87 is the output, and then terminal 30 we had for the power of going through this is hot all the times through fuse 2 30 amp, and then this goes to terminal 87 again to the fuse 23, which is the one for those for the purge valve. So if we again connect on pin 56 on the computer a ground through a meter, so you can read the amperage. If you have an amp clamp, then use the amp clamp and just use a ground. You should be reading around zero point 0.3 to zero point 0.5 amps. That is completely normal with a normal purge valve. If you see something more than that, then you have a bad purge valve because it should not draw more than zero point 0.5 amps. The circuit I think is good up to 1 amp. Reading the information, which is actually I have as well here, as you always know, I do always my homework. So reading the information from Ford, and this is so you understand that I'm not just telling you for telling you, right? So it says diagnostic aids, just to see the AVAP PVDC indicates 100% duty cycle is 1000 milliamp for EVMB. So, and a voltage drop of 3 volts minimum is normal. Output test mode might be used to switch output on and off to verify the function. So as you can see here, so we can have up to 1 amp and that circuit should keep it on. So the test that we just did here, we only saw 200 no matter how big of a load we put. So this will not be able to open that valve properly. So his concern is reproduce. So what I'm going to do is replace the entire circuit because this uses diode and capacitors and so for the driver and the pre-driver on the evap and see if we can make this work properly. All right, again, this is for Kenneth Socha. I'm trying to again share as much as information on testing for the circuit. So if you have a computer like this, you can do the test properly and then send it to me. Um, some uh, some of my YouTube followers are like, if you put the repair of the computer, you will have a lot of more followers. Yeah, thank you so much, but I'm not sharing, the repairs because I am a business. So yes, I can show you diagnostics. I can help you with a lot of diagnostics internal in the computer, but the magic key of the repair stays in-house. That's what I'm here for. If I share you how to get the components and repair the computers, I become not necessary, right? So I'm not removing myself from the equation. I hope that you all understand that. And I do love to share knowledge and help others growth, but not kill my business or remove myself from the equation. All right, guys, I hope that you like the video. This is part one. I will be coming with part two, testing and showing and now the computer works properly. As usual, thank you so much for coming and visiting my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye-bye.